Hello. Before I get started here, I'd like to introduce myself for those of you here that do not know me yet. I'm Luke Joris, owner and founder of South Florida Swim Schools, also known as SFSS. So this is going to be my recommendation for our headquarters. So as you see here, the top two are two beautiful places right on the beach. The top here we have California, and the bottom here we have Florida. These are two awesome places. They offer a lot of water sort of activities, and I want you to think right now, so looking at these photos and what you know about these states, where would you rather swim in these, comparing these two? All right, most of you know, but maybe not all of you, what this business is about and our history. So we offer swim lessons to children of all ages, from all levels, from just learning how to swim, being water safe, to technique work. And this began on May 2024, so pretty recently here. We've grown a lot, have 20 coaches now working with us. And I started this with my partner, Zach. And we were swimmers in high school together, and we ended up doing it in backyard pools, teaching kids lessons, and it's grown from there. So here we are. And why it's so important on this location for the headquarters, and that is because of the demand. We have such a high demand, and we want to be somewhere where we can capitalize on that. We want to put this headquarters where we have more room to grow. So that's why it's so important we pick the right spot for these headquarters. Now, all this research is done by recent data and reliable sources. They will be in my criteria coming up, which I will later discuss here. And it was done by me here in December of 2024. So get into this organization. So I'm going to compare Florida and California, and I'm going to have 3 criteria that I'm going to base it off of. And I'm going to go through these criteria and list different facts, statistics on those states. And these criteria will be business-friendly state, climate, and accessibility to pools. Now we'll compare the 2 states with these, and at the end we'll figure out which one would be the best location for our headquarters. Now we're going right into criterion 1, which was the business-friendly state. So when you're operating a business, you obviously want to be in a state where it is profitable to run a business. So Florida actually ranks the 5th best to have a business in. California ranks 47th. So that's something to keep in mind when going through this. Florida also does not have any individual income tax, which is huge. So that's one thing to keep in mind too. Well, California does have pretty hefty taxes. They're known for that, not just individual taxes, but in general for businesses. So that's one thing that will be on our mind going forward here for a location. Now, going into criteria 2, this is the climate. So the climate obviously is a big one as well when you're doing a swimming school. The climate matters a lot because this is where you're going to be conducting your business, outside a lot of the times in pools. And that's why Florida, having an average temperature of 70.7, actually the highest in the United States. This is a thing to keep in mind as well, because this lets us year round, if we chose Florida, be there doing swim lessons. It doesn't matter on the season. We're always able to do that. While California, they do get warm summers, all of that, they can get cold, which will affect the business in some sort of way. Water temperatures obviously correlate directly with that temperature, and that's what's going to allow us to have more demand for a swimming school. You have a hot climate, people are always out in the water, cooling off, they need to know how to swim. So that's why climate is such a big deal with this headquarters location. All right, going on to criteria 3. Now this one's big, the availability or accessibility to pools. Availability too, kind of. But this is big, obviously, because this is where we're going to be working. The more pools, the more demand they have for you. So you fly over Florida or California and you look down, you see a bunch of pools. That's business right there. That's where we want to look to capitalize on and put our headquarters there. Florida actually has 1.5 million pools, the most amount out of any US state. California has 1.3, a lot, but keep in mind California's population and land area is much greater than Florida. So that is something to keep in consideration. Now, this graph will show that actually. This is Florida right here. We got Florida all the way up with amount of pools. Got California a little bit below. But remember, the population is a lot higher, so that's saying a lot. And then we got the average United States all the way down there. So it is good. Both these states have a lot of pools, a lot of business to be made there. But Florida does, it's up here right now. So in conclusion, Florida has a better business-friendly economy. There are better tax breaks. They work with business owners better. They more lenient on all that. It can help with it. Year-round climate helps, and yeah. So conclusion, Florida has been hitting the checkbox on all those. So now we're going on to the final thing. Recommendation for our headquarters is Florida. Florida would be the winner here. Of all those things we just went over, those criteria, Florida is perfect. We have business friendly, we have a warmer climate, we can year-round outdoor participation, we have excessive amounts of backyard pools where we can conduct business, we can market, there's just so much room to grow here in Florida. And if our headquarters is here, it'll be big. Not just that, me and my business partner, Zach, we already reside here in Florida. So this makes it easy where there's not a move. We've developed, we've had some sort of kind of groundwork here. We have connections in here. So yeah, Florida is the winner. Now, I do know, or I've heard some of your concerns that headquarters would be better where the investors are, was something that was said. And I disagree. The investors are there. They're not the ones that are hands-on. The ones that are hands-on are the ones that matter where we're located. So I believe that that would not have a problem with where we're located, and Florida would still be better than being over there in California. And another concern I've heard is Florida's too hot. It's hard to do business here, all that. And I think it's the exact opposite with the kind of business we're doing. We're teaching swimming where it's a cooling off sport. It's people in a hot climate, this does better. So I don't think that will have any sort of problem with our headquarters there. And going on now to our advertising plan. So the key to better swimming is swimming better. So we'd advertise with, I'd keep a social media presence. We'd be constantly promoting on that aspect, maybe even have a social media promoter. We would attend local swim meets, group youth camps, all those kinds of deals to just kind of put our name out there, get even more rolling with all that. And yes, it would help. Flyers even, we talked about that, all sorts of things. There's all sorts of kind of advertising we could do to help promote us. Now here is my references if you want to look more into where I got this data and into this headquarters location as a whole. All right, and now it's time for some questions and answers. So does anybody have a question? Yes, oh, you said the swim lesson business in Florida is already saturated. How will your business stand out? Well, that's easy. We already have actually set down, we've been here. We've made our name known. People know us, we already have connections. So that won't be too hard to overcome. And people, there's so many pools. Every day there's kids growing up and the parents are needing them to have swim lessons. So there will always be such a demand for swim lessons here in Florida where I just don't think that would be too big of a problem. How will you service the underprivileged population of children in Florida? Oh, well, we already do that. We service the underprivileged in a few ways. We actually offer group lessons at a much cheaper price, helps the whole community out actually. We go to events where we can help out as a group where there's not money coming out of their pocket. So other people help support it, and we do that occasionally. All right. Thank you for listening, and I hope Florida is our new headquarters.